Hey, my mate. Thanks for the message and the feedback. Sounds like a little bit frustrated. Sounds like there's a lot of good stuff. Obviously, the swing work, ball striking, driving, all sounding really good. How to translate that into a round of golf and a score and finishing that off sounds like you're a little bit frustrated there. But remember, that's also 36 holes medal on a championship golf course set up differently. Okay, and then no practice for a week and a bit. So maybe confidence is a little bit low and we're not sort of quite 100% clear on where we're going, right? So don't worry too much, okay? But thank you for the feedback. Right, so alignment is a little bit tricky and obviously difficult. It does need to be practiced, okay? But next time you're on the range, I say but, so I'm going to give you a kind of a little bit of a helping hand with that alignment. Okay, but before that, next time you're on the range, all right, just try and have two alignment sticks. Okay, so one sort of just outside the ball target line and then one very close. And as you're hitting different clubs, make sure that it's parallel and very close to your feet so you can line up your toes, hips, and shoulders on this stick and then obviously the club face on that one. Okay? All right, so it is difficult, but practice it as much as possible. And then, like I say, if you move targets, you move them so they're parallel. If you change clubs and you move further, okay, you move them so they're parallel and you double check them, make sure everything's correct. Okay? Now, from there, obviously, aiming on the golf course can be difficult. Okay? I do understand that, but I'm going to try and help you. And then in terms of having too many swing thoughts, okay, again, probably just fiddling a little bit, trying to adapt a little bit, and they're not practicing as much. And that's kind of probably more what it is. But absolutely fine. Remember, simplify. We're trying to sort of stabilize and neaten up this golf swing from the trigger. No unnecessary movement parts. No change of height and distance from the golf ball. Okay. And then from there, okay, we slightly shut face. That's natural. You don't have to think about that. Okay, but because the face is closed, okay, we're trying to slightly outrace the body rotation and then release sort of on the circle, not there. Okay, so you kind of have that in the background. How does that translate to you? Nice, neat, stable swing. Okay, and obviously body slightly outraces the golf club. That's kind of all you have to think about. But you're getting to the point now where maybe you don't have to think about it too much. You can go and feel. You know if I feel a little bit of movement, and you know if I unwind that way instead of that way. Okay, so we can simplify that, right? So because of the alignment and because of that, okay, what I want to do is blend those together, okay, and just create and work on a routine. Okay, so a routine that you have when you get to the golf ball. Okay, so it's a little bit trial and error, so I'm going to document it. You can try it out. You've got to try it on the range first, see how you like it, adapt it as you want to. We can discuss it, and then we put it into practice for a good 3 to 4 weeks. And then we decide, is it working? Is it close to working? Does it need tweaking? Okay, whatever the case may be. All right, so the routine is going to help us sort of narrow our focus and simplify a little bit, definitely. And then obviously we're going to tie a little bit of alignment into that, okay? So, right, so first thing we're going to do with alignment, obviously that practice, okay? And then what we need to introduce an intermediate target, okay? That intermediate target must mean no more than sort of 2.5 foot in front of the golf ball. All right. Actually, ideally, it's not perfectly on the target line. It's a little bit left or a little bit right is actually better. But if it is perfect on that, it's also fine. All right. So you'll get up to your ball, select your target. Okay. Obviously, select your club. All right. And then on the line of your ball target, on the line of that target, you find something, a piece of grass or a divot or whatever the case may be. Right. Okay. Not always easy at trumpet. Okay. So I've got this little piece of tee there that's been broken. Okay, and on my line, it's just on the right edge, so that's perfect. Just on the right edge of that tee is the intermediate target, right? Okay, so now once you've practiced your parallel lines, right, then what you learn to do is you learn to keep my torso, I mean, I guess you can include hips, torso, feet, and clubs square to each other, all right? So you keep them square to each other. So you'll be able to feel without the tilt and target when something's out. Okay? So nice and square, perpendicular, club face is square, that's open, square closed. Okay, nice and square. all right? Square to you. Then you drop that in, okay? Shuffle it to the golf ball. Right, now, if you need to move, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to check the face to here. Okay, so now we're not worried so much about there. If the face is square here, and then the face is square to you, then you're there, or you're bloody close. Okay, so let's do that again. So let's go distance from the ball, so we don't have to shuffle in. That's an unnecessary move. Okay, distance from the ball, right, get everything perpendicular. Shoulders to club, feeling everything nice and neat. Drop it in. Okay, and now that is aiming just on the left. Okay, right? Now, I mean, obviously something I practice and stuff like I practice, but I mean, I'm a bit more aware of or have practiced over the years. Okay, but now everything is aiming left. Okay, now I know that, but you got to rely on feel to the club face and feel to that intermediate target. Okay, so then I'm going to lift it up, shuffle it all over to the right, put it down, check it over here. Ah, no, that's too far to the right. Up, shuffle it back. Okay, that looks good. Then I double check my target. Okay, and I'm ready to go. Now, I know we're trying to simplify. Okay, that's good. But we have to learn how to line up. Okay, that you just have to go through that. I'm talking you through it there. It's not going to take that long once you've practiced a little bit. Okay, I'm just talking you through it. Okay, all you got to do is pick target, intermediate target. Am I on it, left of it, right of it? Right, I've decided. Cool. Right, now we go. Get everything square to each other. Drop it in. Adjust it slightly. Check it. And go. Okay, that's all we have to do. From there, all you're trying to do is you're trying to feel no extra moving parts. Okay, so nice, smooth, solid backswing. Unwind on the downswing. Okay, you don't even have to think about that. You can almost post-analyze that. Okay, so I will document a little routine for you, like 5 steps, whatever it is, that takes care of that alignment, that method of alignment. Okay, one little swing thought, and then off you go. Okay, and you just kind of practice a little bit and then do that every time. Okay, right, let's get into bunker play just a little bit. Okay, so we got 2 things here, right? So bunker play, I'm going to say easy. It's relatively easy. Okay, it's not always easy to hit the ball close to the hole, but relatively easy to get a decent strike and get it within a few meters or so of the flag. Okay, because you've actually got a much bigger margin of area out of bunkers. All right, so you just need a little bit of practice, a little bit of understanding. Okay, and then a little bit of knowledge or decision making. Okay, so one of the big things you have to understand at Trump, okay, is the difference between a 20 meter, a 40 meter, and a 60 meter bunker shot. Okay, there are 3 very, very different shots. Okay, the 20 and the 40 you can play similar with a different club, but then the 60 is completely different. Okay, and you get some really tough bunker shots. They're long and very uphill, and then you get some shorter elevated ones, and then you get some longer ones where you have to cleaner and so on and so forth. Okay, so you got to basically have 3 little sort of ideas of bunker shot. Am I hitting the 20 meter one? Am I hitting the 40 meter one? Am I hitting the 60 meter one? Okay, I remember then when we played on 7, you missed it sort of short right there, and that flag was cut sort of middle right of the green, very elevated, slight downslope. Okay, it's just an immaculate shot there, unbelievably good shot. I just remember looking at it going, yes, I'm so glad I have to play that shot. And you just played it brilliantly, right? It is a little bit to do with unwinding this way instead of being able to control your angle of unwinding. Okay, so it's a little bit to do that, but that's not how I want you to practice it. Okay, so the first you have to do is understand the shot, and then you have to learn to control your low point of your swing, and you just have got to control the depth of your swing. Okay, now it's not too hectic, so don't worry. Okay, so what I want you to do, I want you to go in a bunker, okay, and just make 2 lines. You want your lines to be approximately that wide. So just go in the bunker and just draw some lines like that. Okay, and just start taking some swings. All right, now, first thing you want to do is you want to be able to bottom out. If you're practicing on that line, that's fine. I actually like to just hit just ahead of that line, just so I really know I'm controlling my low point. Okay, so if that was your back line in the bunker, Okay, you're going to try to sort of just miss it. Okay, and you just kind of swing along in the bunker. Okay, so you just control and check if you have a consistent entry point into the sand. All right? Okay, obviously if you don't, then you just kind of keep practicing a little bit, right? So once you get a little bit better, I would do sort of 8 or 10 at a time, okay? But obviously if you do sort of 5 and it's a bit messy, then kind of rake and start again and see if you can get your setup correct every time. Same width of stance, same chest position, same head position. Try and hit the same spot over and over and over. Okay, as you get a little bit better than that, then start checking how much sand you're taking. So how deep is your divot? Okay, all right, and then from there, I mean, take some photos and send me as well, and I'll try and analyze it as much as I can. Okay, especially at Trump, we want sort of a sort of half, 3/4 depth. Sometimes I don't think an inch. I think an inch is a bit too much, but about a 3/4 inch depth of divot that you're trying to take. Okay, so if the entry point is consistent, and then the depth of divot is consistent, all right, then all you have to do is basically fiddle a little bit with the golf club, maybe a touch of ball position, and you can hit a few different shots. Okay, so consistent low point, consistent depth. Okay, so then once you've gone fairly consistent with that, depth and entry point, okay, low point. All right, then for your 3 different shots, okay, basically for the little short 20-meter one where you got to kind of get him up, okay, you want your low point quite close to the golf ball there, okay, a good sort of about an inch or so, and you can tweak the face a little bit open. So set your low point up to make contact there, tweak the face a little bit open, okay, and you got your little 20-meter one, okay. Your 40-meter one, you can play the same, okay, just play it with a sand wedge, not a lob wedge, okay. You can fiddle with it, but probably square, to be honest. Still an inch behind, okay, and obviously slightly longer swing, yeah. Okay, and then your 60-meter one is the one where now your low point has to be on the golf ball and your divot has to be thinner, if not non-existent. You're kind of picking it off the top of the sand. Okay, so once you can control your depth, control your low point, then you can adjust your club, your ball position, and your depth for the 3 different shots that you want. All right, okay, remember at the end of the day, they're hazards. Okay, it is difficult, just a little bit of practice. Okay, make the right decision, understand the shot, set up correctly, and then your odds of success go up and up and up and up. Okay, if you're not sure what you're doing and your depth is different and your low point's different every time, okay, then you're going to get no sort of remnants of feel or control or whatever, so obviously you're going to spin shots back and forth. Okay, so that's bunker play. Yeah? Right, and then lastly, putting. Okay? Right, so again, putting, look, again, it comes down to confidence, comes down to touch, a little bit of green reading, whatever. Okay, it seems like you're just a little bit low on confidence at the moment, okay? That's absolutely fine, mate. We'll get it back. Okay, we got little technical things to do here and there, okay, but let's narrow our focus, start executing better, and the confidence and the enjoyment will come back. All right, so putting. Okay, so obviously we don't want to get too disconnected. Okay, we want to keep that thing moving in sync with the torso as much as possible. Okay, right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to look a little bit more at swing length, tempo, and green reading. So essentially distance control, right? Okay, so what I want you to do, I want you to do what we call a stroke length drill. Now, stroke length drill, you need some tees. Okay, for now, I think let's do 7 tees, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is this, right? We're going to put a tee to mark where the ball is, so the ball is always in the same spot. Okay? Right, then, I mean, ideally get the same color tees, but, you know. Right, so what we're going to do, let's go putter head for now. So we go, it's your putter, right? So with length of your putter head on both sides. Okay, so that's 1 stroke length, okay? And then maybe we go half a putter back. Okay, so that's the second one. and then another half a putter. And that's the third length. Okay, so first stroke length is there. So we're trying to keep the length consistent on both sides. Okay, and then second stroke length is those two. Third stroke length is those two. Okay, for now, okay, obviously don't even go to hole or anything. I mean, obviously try and practice on as flat as possible part of the green. Okay, just as we're starting to get some feel and baseline. Okay, we want to hit about 10 putts with each. All right, so I would say take 5 balls and hit 5 at a time. Kind of see how far they go, bring them back at another 5. Okay, so you've hit 10 from there. All right, and then there 5, take a little break, get your balls, check how far they went, another 5, and then another 5 times 2 from there. Yeah? Okay, so what we're trying to do here, no target, not anything. We're trying to be consistent tempo, strike, and length. Okay, so backswing is going to be there. Follow through is going to be there. Nice consistent tempo. Okay, that was a tiny bit long. Okay, not bad. And so you hit 5 and you see how far they go. Okay, so those on flat trump, probably going to go 2.5 meters, something like that. Okay, but they must be grouped really tight together. So you know, okay, cool. So that's fine, right? So that's my 2.5 meter putt. Cool, right? Then you go to the next one. Okay, so that's going to be there to there. Okay. Yes, stroke length, good. Look, it's not my putter, but that to me feels like the tempo is a little bit slow on the backswing. Okay, that felt good. And so you go, and then you see how far those go. Maybe those go 4 meters, whatever it is. And you start to get a baseline of what you're doing. Okay, once you do that, okay, and it's consistent, then we can start to think about, okay, cool, let's try and adapt this into our green reading. Okay, so if we have a 6 meter putt, okay, but at trump that can be sort of 3 meters flat and then extremely downhill. So we only need to putt the ball 4 meters. It's going to catch the downhill and go. Okay, then we go, well, what is our 4 meter putt? Okay, that was this swing length. Okay, and it's not too hectic and deliberate like that, but it's a starting block, and it just starts to show you, is your green reading out? Is your tempo out? Is your stroke length out? Okay, so you can just start sort of figuring it out and narrowing your margins a little bit. Okay, so start off with that stroke length drill. Let me know how it goes. Obviously send some videos. Okay, then you've got your bunker work, and swing work is not a lot. It's a new routine to dial in our alignment so that all the good swing work that we've done starts to make the ball go at the target. Okay, all right, my matey. Let's hope that makes you kind of feel a little bit better, a little more confident. Starts shaving some shots off the score. All right, and mostly just take a bit of pressure off yourself and get back the enjoyment that you have for the game. All right, let me know if you need anything else. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you, mate.